Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wake up. Here we go. We got this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kobold, joined by my guy, Max Faulkner. Max, did you get a haircut this week, you queef?
Oh, thank you for calling me a queef because I got a haircut. You know, you told me last podcast that there's some queefs out there, speaking of queefs, some queefs out there that are talking about my hairdo. They're like, hey, what's going on with Max's hair, man? Some days it's dry, some days it's wet, some days it looks curly. Why the fuck do you care?
Real wet.
What,
Sometimes it's real wet.
That's what we're talking about, huh? That's what we're talking about, my hairdo, not the sports,
Just
not talking points.
Just some observations from the fans, I guess.
Fair enough. Well, I got self-conscious about it. Went out. I didn't get self-conscious. It was time. Once your hair starts shedding, man, that's it. That's it for me.
You're not a dog.
Yeah, like a dog, like Luna, like my dog Luna.
Come on.
I had to go get a haircut. All right, it was. We got a stylist now, Cole Breezy. Stylist. The first time that we came out here to Tennessee, we stayed at an Airbnb with Candace. Beautiful Airbnb, by the way. If you ever come out here, that might be where you're staying. Well, actually, you'd stay with us, but I have a recommendation in case anyone wants it. Anyway, she now does her hair, and she did an excellent job. I think it looks good. What's going on with you?
I like that. Not much, man. Relaxing weekend, just watching a lot of ball, a lot of games as we're, of course, mid-February, 3.5 weeks away from Selection Sunday. I'm going to update us multiple times today, multiple times before Selection Sunday.
Can't wait.
I don't have anything noteworthy to talk about. Max, what else is going on with you?
Dude, yeah, lots of basketball, man. You know, surprisingly enough, last weekend, no upsets, right? Not that I can really think of that were big ones. You know, we had the UConn Marquette game that we were thinking would be a huge upset. Sunday, there was an upset. We'll talk about that.
South Carolina got beat.
Yeah,
They
South
were
Carolina.
number 11.
UConn killed Marquette. A lot of people were thinking, oh, we think Marquette's going to take them down. No way. No way.
Whoa.
But one thing that did happen over the weekend, I got to keep it down because I don't want my wife hearing. My wife got pink eye.
Oh,
My wife got pink eye,
Ooh.
and
Ooh.
that's never good. You know, we've all had it before. Okay,
I
had it.
had some last year.
You had some last year.
Last year.
Last time I had pink eye was my high school season, high school season. My junior season. I remember on the varsity team of basketball, we farted into a bottle. Okay, why we did this?
What?
You know, us as guys.
What?
I know we're gross. We're gross. We think it's funny. It is funny. I still think it's funny. Anyway, I was the idiot that opened it up and took a look inside. like I'm gonna find something.
Oh,
I'm gonna find some
something's in
gold.
there?
There's a diamond in there. There's
You're
a
looking
diamond
for
in there.
something?
Got
You're
pink
looking
eye
for
the
something.
next day. Pink
Yeah.
eye. But
You're right.
so anyway, we found out that our dog Luna was sleeping on her pillow, and so people, honestly, this is a warning for anybody. If you let your dog sleep on your pillow, or cat, or any animal, I guess, that dog might very well have poop and pee residues all over your pillow now, and you can easily get pink eye. So just a forewarning, anyone. If you fart in a bottle, don't peek inside of it because you're not going to find anything else but pink eye.
That's fucking ridiculous. You looking in there?
You live and you learn, man. You live and you learn.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, dogs they can't wipe their ass unless they're rubbing it on the rug, but there's some particles left over for sure. Some dingleberries, no doubt.
Ugh.
But Max, we got a huge college basketball episode. Like I said, we're 3.5 weeks away from Selection Sunday. It's grind time, baby. It's grind time. It's time to get those wins. If you're on the bubble, if you're trying to get on the bubble,
Lot of
time to
bubbles.
get those wins.
Lots of people on the bubbles, boys. I'll tell you
So
right.
many.
Meow. Did you hear that cat?
Oh, Zach's not here. Is
Zach's not here. Yeah, okay. All right. Zach and his freaking cats. How many cats he has now? 5, 6?
No, he told us last time. I think he said 3.
He said his cat is pregnant.
Really?
There's probably 8 or 10 in there now.
That's gonna double or triple or quadruple now.
His own cat farm. He's gonna own a cat farm. Not gonna sell them though. He's just gonna raise them.
That'd get pretty hairy in there.
Be a mess. Just
But
a
we
mess.
We got 3 college basketball game picks to make. We got 5 Wooden Award player profiles to do. We got a couple things to talk about, couple teams, but we got to start with women's college
Oh, a
basketball.
little change of pace.
Little
Little
change of
change of
pace here.
pace.
We got to talk about Iowa star Caitlin Clark
Whew.
because she became the all-time leading scorer in the history of women's college basketball. And wouldn't you know it, Max, she did it on a pull-up three from the freaking logo, just pulled up, cashed on them.
Might as well have been from half court, Cole Breezy. You
Might
freaking
as well.
kidding me? She took
Off
one step
balance,
inside, one step from half court.
off
Pop that
balance.
bad boy.
She actually went on to score 49 points in this game, which was a career high and a program record. 49 points in this game for Caitlin Clark. She now has 3,569 career points. This season alone, she's averaging 32.8 points per game. She has 4 regular season games remaining, plus the postseason. Max, she's 99 points away from breaking Pistol Pete Maravich's record. She's going to do that in the regular season, if not the Big Ten tournament. My goodness gracious, what do you got for me on Caitlin Clark, the biggest star in all of college basketball?
We got a little bit to talk about when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Okay, she's not being talked about enough. Okay, and what I want to bring up. Okay, not only is she averaging 32.8 points per game, she's averaging 6.9 rebounds per game, and she's averaging 8.5 assists per game, which is first in the league. Also, her points per game, that's first in the league. She's shooting 47.5% from the field, 39.9% from three-pointer, and 85.7% from the free throw line. This is just a pure score. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and jump off a bridge and say Caitlin Clark might very well be the best women's basketball player of all time. All right, I know it's soon to tell. But during that game, when she pulled up from half court to nail that three-pointer, she led off the game scoring Iowa's first 8 points. She was on a tear. She's like, I'm breaking this record tonight. No one is stopping me, not even my own teammates. Okay,
get out of my way.
Yeah, get out. Right. Set me a screen.
Screen.
So she surpassed Washington Huskies star player Kelsey Plum. Okay, Kelsey Plum had 3,527 points. Now, this is no doubt amazing, Cole Breezy. But you know what would be even more amazing? If she didn't just beat the all-time NCAA scoring record for the women's, but as you already brought up, but for the boys as well. Can we believe that for the second year in a row, we're talking about a player that might surpass Pete Maravich's scoring record, 3,667 points. And what's his name? Antoine
Davis from Detroit Mercy.
So he was chasing the record last season with his Detroit Mercy of, I don't know, they were like 8-28.
No, 3 points shy, by the way. 3 points shy.
3 points shy. He was 3 points shy. He only needed was a three-pointer. He might have had like 30 points that game. He might have. But okay, you already brought it up. Caitlin Clark is just about 98 points away of breaking the record. 4 games left in the season, plus the Big Ten tourney. Does she break the record, Cole Breezy?
I think she breaks it in the regular season.
I think so too.
She could push. I mean, I'm not going to say 4,000, but she could flirt with 4,000 if she plays 3 or 4 in the Big Ten tournament, has a long run in March Madness. She could flirt with 4,000 career points, and that could maybe never be touched. I'm not sure.
Ooh, man, I didn't really think about that because definitely 4 games are left, but she has potentially 4 to 8 games left. If you double that number. Yeah, dude, she might get 4,000 points. That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. So if she does break the record, what do you think? Can we say that she's the best women's basketball player of all time?
Especially what you just said, leading the nation in points and assists. That's a very, very rare feat. But yeah, the all-time leading career scorer and in men's or women's college basketball. My goodness, you got to give it to her right now. She's the biggest star in college sports right now.
That was going to be my next question. Okay, so I'm asking right now the best women's basketball player of all time, but Could we say that she might be the best NCAA basketball player of all time? That's a big one because there's
That's
some
a big one.
big time names. I mean, come on, Jordan played for 3 years. Obviously,
Sure,
Pete
sure.
Maravich was a stud. I mean, Tim Duncan went all 4 years. I'll bring up my boy Timmy D, first overall pick, 5-time champion. You know, come on. There's some big time names. I'm sure everyone could toss in at least one guy that they followed in college that you could probably be like, oh, he's
Oh,
better
yeah.
than Caitlin Clark.
Bill Walton, all his
Yeah,
championships.
he had oh man, with UCLA and John Wooden. Oh baby, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You kidding me? Uh,
Yeah.
damn.
So
But
I'll give her the best. I'll give her the best college athlete right now. Any sport. How about
sure,
that? How
I,
about that?
I'll agree with you on that. So to wrap it up a little bit on Caitlin Clark. So last season, the Iowa Hawkeyes made it to the championship. If everyone didn't know that, but they lost to LSU by 17. They got swapped. Okay, so just ugh. It was not even a contest, believe it or not. LSU won their first championship, by the way. Congratulations to them. But I think that as far as the best NC basketball player of all time, I believe you need to at least win one championship before we even discuss it. How
That's a
about
good
that?
call, Max. That's a good call. Yeah. Hope. Yeah. Fair point. Let's see what she can do. Let's see what she can do this year.
Heck yeah, Caitlin Clark, you are rocking it. I'm watching highlights and yeah, everyone, this girl can ball. This girl can ball. It's fun to see, regardless, any talent that you can see in a sport, and you just know it. You just like, well, that's a rare talent. It's fun to see. So go, Caitlin Clark. I'm rooting for you. Break the record. Get 4,000 points while you're at it. Come on.
Let's move into some men's college basketball now, Max. Our AP poll reaction. We got 4 teams to talk about real quickly here. Why don't you lead us off with your Purdue Boilermakers? They slipped from number 2 to number 3 this week in the poll after a 73-69 loss at Ohio State. They are now 23-3, 12-3 in the Big Ten. What do you got for us on your alma mater?
Man, uh, yeah, so Purdue lost to Ohio State on Sunday. Not a good game. Okay, not a good game. This is all I got to say about Purdue, because when you look at the stat sheet, you're not going to see. I mean, like they had turnovers, but it's not like they had like 18 turnovers. I think they had 11, maybe 12. It's still too much in my book, but still, you're kind of like, you're still around your average on the season. They were just playing slow. They were not playing their up and down basketball, grab the rebound and go. They were like, oh, let's just dribble the ball up. Pass it around, pass it around.
Overlooked them?
I,
Overlooked the Buckeyes?
I think so. I think so. They at the end they were trying to play catch up. They tied the game, which was outstanding. And of course, I jumped up with Luna in my arms at that point. But then, yeah, I had to definitely put a pause on that because our defense was soft as teddy bears. We're one state over everybody. It's not like we've had to go to fucking New York. We're one state over. Okay, just driving over to the east. Okay, it's not that far. But yeah, they played lackadaisically, and I had some other people in my family that I talked to that are Purdue fans. They all said the same thing. That they're all like, man, my dad was the first one to bring it up. Oh, very lackadaisical, very lackadaisical. So I got really nothing much to say other than get the bad losses done right now. Okay, the Big Ten tourney's coming up in a few weeks. Let's get back on track. Let's go on a winning streak. Let's sweep through that Big Ten tournament, win the championship, going into the dance. That's what I'm looking forward to. If we lose one right now, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. But shake it loose, learn from the mistake because we're not losing to a 16 seed this year. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, I want to say that Big Ten tournament starts 3 weeks from last night. So look out for that. In this loss at Ohio State, these are some interesting numbers in a loss. The Boilers went 20 of 20 from the line. 20 of 20 from the line, the Boilers went. And plus 13 on the boards. Boilers were plus 13 on the boards.
Soft turnovers, lackadaisical play on offense.
Boilers had 14 turnovers. Ohio State only had 6. Ohio State had 22 points off of those 14 turnovers. Your boy Zach Edey had 6 turnovers, and Braden Smith had 3.
You know what? There is something that aggravates me about Zach Edey. It's like the only thing. When he gets double teamed, why do you play small? Like they're coming up into you like this, right? Why don't you just step through them? Yeah, like you're huge. You need 3 or 4 people on you to try to push you over. Okay, not to yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you falling backwards? What? Stop it! Stop it! I hope they work on that in practice. Okay, put 3 guys on them. Put a coach on them with one of those pads. Just pushing them. Just push them. Get
Um,
big. You're 7'4", 300 pounds. Stop being a wussy.
let's talk about my Kansas Jayhawks real quick,
Let's
Max.
do it.
They dropped 3 spots in the poll this week to number 9 after
Oh,
getting blitzed at Texas Tech 79-50 on Monday,
that's right.
but then bounced back and got a good one at Oklahoma by 10 on Saturday. Jayhawks are now 20-6, 8-5 in the Big 12. If you watched this podcast last week, I called for a big game from Hunter Dickinson. Okay, Texas Tech shut him down. I said a couple rim rattling dunks. I said big game from the Big Dick. Hunter Dickinson, 20 points, 16 boards. I think it was his third 2015 game of the season. He showed up and played. Kansas has 3 guys
Nice.
averaging double figures, led by Kevin McCullough, who actually returned in this game.
They need
He's
that.
averaging he's averaging 19 a game. He's not 100% by any means. Not 100%. Kansas is shooting 49.8% from the floor. That is 6th in the nation. And their 19.8 assists per game leads the nation. Kansas getting it done on defense this year a little bit more than usual, Max. They're holding teams to 39.6% shooting. That is tied for 10th in the nation.
Very good.
Not sleep
Very
on them.
good.
But here's something here. Last in the Big 12, the Kansas Jayhawks are last in the Big 12 in 3-point makes per game, 3-point attempts per game. So just not shooting them, and offensive rebounds per game, not hitting the offensive
Eee.
glass.
Eee.
Could be a thorn right there. What do you think about the Kansas Jayhawks right now, Maxwell? What seed do you give them if the selection show was tonight? What seed are you giving Kansas?
Right now, yeah, I'm looking at a 3. I think we're looking at a 3 with 6. How many losses? 6? We said 6.
20-6 overall, 8-5 in the Big 12.
Yeah, 8-5 in the Big 12, and some of those losses were bad, like losing 50 between 15 and 20 points.
West
So,
Virginia and
with
UCF.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
UCF, and then Texas Tech. You know, like some big
Texas
time.
Tech is ranked. Texas
Uh,
Tech is ranked.
I'm talking just losing by 15 to 20 points.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
blowout.
blowouts. Yeah, so definitely a 3 seed. But hey, they, come Big 12 tournament, they can very well run the table, win that tournament, get a #1 seed. I wouldn't be surprised.
In Kansas City for sure. Definitely almost a home crowd there. If not, definitely a home crowd. The Jayhawks host Texas and BYU before going to Baylor next Saturday. They're going to be interesting little stretch here for the Jayhawks. New team we want to talk about this week. We haven't talked about them much. We mentioned them last week, but it's the Washington State Cougars out of the Pac-12. They come in at number 21 in the polls this week. The first time they've been ranked since the 2007-2008 season.
Wow.
They haven't been ranked since 2008.
Crazy.
The Cougars are 20-6 and 11-4 in the Pac-12. They're winners of 7 straight and 10 of their last 11. They got 4 guys averaging double figures, led by freshman Miles Rice. He's averaging 15.9 points. That's 9th in the Pac-12. 3 boards a game, 3.7 assists. That's 5th in the Pac-12. 1.7 steals. That's tied for 3rd in the Pac-12. He's shooting 46% from the floor, 81% from the line, and 33% from deep.
Damn.
This dude got on campus the summer of 2021. Notice I said he's a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
They decided to redshirt him. Got some upperclassmen in the backcourt, not ready to go. So they redshirt him. Fast forward to next September, he goes to get a lump checked out. He's got Hodgkin's lymphoma. He's got cancer.
Oh.
Misses the whole season last year. But guess what? He's declared cancer-free in last March. So he's ready to go for this season. And he's having a hell of a year. He's the only freshman leading his team in points, assists, and steals, I think, in the nation amongst major conference teams. I think he's the only freshman leading his team in points, assists, and steals. But great story there. For
Awesome
Miles
story.
Rice.
Good for Miles Rice. You love hearing a guy that sadly had to dealt with some form of cancer, but comes back and
Adversity.
oh man, the drive to continue to want to play and do what you do, and say, I'm not going to allow anything to stop me from getting on that court. What a beast. I'm rooting for the guy. I'm rooting for this team. I would love to see him in the dance. So, I mean, we're ranked at 21. They're definitely in, but come on.
After chemotherapy, he had to build up that strength back and get his skills back. I mean, to average 16 points in the Pac-12 right now, my goodness, he's balling.
Heck yeah.
Let's look at the Cougars from a team perspective. They're averaging 5.3 blocks per game. That's tied for 13th in the nation. They only turn it over 10.5 times per game. That is tied for first in the Pac-12. They allow 66.5 points per game. That is second in the Pac-12. Allowing 40.8% shooting. That's first in the Pac-12. They only allow 5.9 threes per game. That's first in the Pac-12. And teams are only averaging 10.5 assists per game on them this season. That's first in the Pac-12 and top 20 nationally. So
wow,
they're locking people down.
Pretty good defense here. I think we're sleeping on these. What are they? The Wildcats?
Cougars. That's it goes Wildcats and then it goes Cougars.
Yeah.
But yeah, they haven't made the tournament since 2008. Tony Bennett, the Virginia coach, when he was there.
Well,
haven't made the tournament since 2008. They're definitely in it. We're 3.5 weeks away. They're ranked 21st, so I don't have to ask you about that. They go to Arizona tomorrow night. Oh, baby, that's a late tip. Watch that one. And they go to Arizona State this weekend, I believe Saturday. But they got an Arizona road trip here. If they can beat Arizona in Arizona tomorrow, Max, what seed are you going to give them?
If Arizona beats the Wildcats,
if the Cougars go into Arizona, the Washington State Cougars go into Arizona tomorrow night.
Cougars taking on the Wildcats, man. It's easy to mix up. I mean, Arizona, they definitely are looking pretty good in that Pac-12. I keep saying I think the Pac-12 is weak. Okay, other than these two teams that we're naming right now. Other than that, who else you got? You said maybe
Nobody
Oregon.
For sure.
Maybe
Nobody
Oregon.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody for sure.
So that's the only thing. Purdue beat Arizona this year, big time. That was the one, really, the one test that I got to see. They're still a good team. Don't get me wrong. I think Arizona's a 2. I think they're going to be a 2 seed. Even if they win the Pac-12 tourney, I think they end up a 2.
What are you giving Washington State if they beat Arizona tomorrow night?
Oh, Washington State. They're going to have a ways to go, but we're looking at a 5-6. Thinking a 5, maybe a 6. If they win the Pac-12 tourney, 4? I don't think they're getting any higher than that.
Hell of an accomplishment. Hell of an accomplishment. Last team we want to talk about in the AP poll reaction this week are the Gators out of the SEC from Gainesville, Florida, boys. They're ranked for the first time this season. They're now 18-8 overall, 8-5 in the SEC. They had won 7 of 8 before tonight's overtime loss at Alabama. That was a good one. In that streak there, they won at number 10 Kentucky, and they beat number 12 Auburn at home. Let's not forget about that.
Very nice.
Florida has 5 guys averaging double figures, led by Walter Clayton Jr. He's averaging 16.4 points per game. He had a game-high 27 tonight in that overtime loss at Bama.
Nice.
Let's not forget about Walter Clayton. He was in March Madness last year for Iona. He was Rick Pitino's point guard. But guess they were a 13 seed.
Yeah.
But you know who they got matched up with in the first round? The 4 seed. It was a smacking, the UConn Huskies, boys.
Oh, yeah. No way. No way.
No upset there. No upset there. Florida, they lead the nation in rebounding at 44.2 per game.
You said Florida.
Florida Gators.
The Gators.
They roll out 6'10", 6'11", 7'1", 6'9". They got some big boys on this lineup, boys.
Oh, my.
Multiple guys over... 3 guys over 6.5 boards per game. 3 guys. That's pretty damn good. 44.2 per game. They're also second in the nation with over 16 offensive rebounds per game. Max, they retrieve almost 40% of their misses. Whoa. They rebound almost 40% of their misses.
Whoa.
Holy shit. And they average 5.3 blocks per game. That's tied for 13th in the nation. Are we sleeping on the Gators of Florida, Max?
Definitely sleeping on the Gators. Okay, we've definitely been sleeping on them. Definitely woke us up. I think I woke up once they beat Auburn. I was like, oh, are the Gators having a good season? And then I look at
Yeah.
their record and I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna make the dance. They're in there. They're gonna be in there. Uh, I did not know these stats, though, Cole Breezy. With those stats, I would have figured they would have been, I don't know, 23-4, something like that. Now they're, what are they, 18-8? Is that what you said?
18-8.
18-8. All right. So still, they're looking good. SEC is a really tough division. Oh man, do not sleep on the Florida Gators come March, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my, this
Yeah.
might be that sleeper team with averaging 44 rebounds. Damn.
Even though they lost tonight, that's a hell of a loss. That's a quad one loss, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Overtime at Bama. Florida, they have home games against Vanderbilt and Missouri. Those are both going to be smackings before going to South Carolina next Saturday. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a ranked on ranked matchup, probably. Moving along on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast this week, we got to talk about our guy, Max Abmas, because he's climbing up the men's college basketball all-time scoring leader list. Since we last talked last Wednesday, the Texas Longhorns, they went to Houston on Saturday, got smacked 82-61. Max Abmas only had 7 points in this one, shot 2 of 14, 1 of 5 from deep. This was the first time Abmas was held under 10 points since December 19th, 2022, 47 games ago. He had a streak of 47 straight games of double figures until this one at Houston. That speaks to Houston's defense.
Houston
also.
is good. Damn good. We'll talk about Houston later.
Texas goes back home. They play K-State, Kansas State Wildcats on Monday. They beat them by 6, 62-56, low score. Abmas only had 8 points, boys. 3
Oh
of 10.
my goodness, he's cold.
3 of 10, 0 for 5 from downtown. He's 1 for 10 from downtown in his last 2.
Gee, stop hanging out of the freezer. What are you, a butcher? Jeez, get back on.
Oh, you're at thaw that shoulder out.
Yeah, damn.
He now has 3,001 career total points. He's the 12th all-time player in men's college basketball to reach 3,000 points. He needs 8 points to pass Hersey Hawkins, who played for Bradley in the mid-'80s, and 59 points to get in that top 10. He's got 5 regular season games remaining. We talked about it last week. We were pretty high on him. After 15 points in the last 2 games, he's probably not catching our boy Dougie McDuckett. But Dougie McBucket's sitting there at number 7. He's probably not catching him now. We'll see. We'll see if Texas can do something in the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, I don't know about Texas. Real quick about Texas. I think this is a team that we're definitely going to be surprised that doesn't make the dance. I think they're going to be the last 4 in, last 4 out scenario. I think that they're going to end up in that situation. They're going to have to make some big wins inside of that tourney.
17-9 overall, 6-7 in the Big 12. Are the Texas Longhorns right now? 3-6 against ranked teams. 3-6 against ranked teams.
9 games against ranked teams, though. I mean,
Big 12. Big 12.
Yeah.
Moving along, Max, let's get into our Wooden Award player profiles. The Wooden Award announced a good month ago, top 25 lists of the top players in college basketball for the Player of the Year award. And we're going through each guy and doing a little profile on them. And I'm gonna lead us off this week, Max.
Sweet.
Got one extra. Let's go to Dayton and talk about the big dog, Deron Holmes. He actually wasn't on the midseason Wooden Award list. He was added to the late season top 20 list. Okay. 6'10", 235-pound junior from Goodyear, Arizona. He's got the Dayton Flyers sitting there at number 16 right now, Max. 21-4, 11-2 in the A10. Deron Holmes, he's averaging 20 points per game. That leads the A10, top 30 nationally. Averaging 8 boards per game. That's third in the A10. 2.2 blocks per game. That's third in the A10 and top 20 nationally. Shooting 55% from the floor.
Nice.
37% from deep at 6'10".
Big dog that can shoot the long ball.
He started all 94 games in his 3-year career at Dayton. A couple big games he's had this year. 33-12 at Duquesne. 29, 14, and 14 blocks the very next game versus St. Louis. He had 34, 7 boards, and 4 blocks versus St. Bonaventure. And we never talk about Dayton. We never talk about Dayton, but we did in 2020, Max. Let's not forget the
Mm-hmm.
COVID season ruined it. COVID ruined it. Their season, the Flyers. They were 29-2, 18-0 in the A10. They were going to be a 1 seed.
Wow.
The player of the year that year was Obi Toppin.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at Deron Holmes, comparing him to Obi, they both averaged 20 points per game, flat. Okay. Obi gave you 7.5 boards, which is less than Deron Holmes's 8. So they averaged the same amount of points, but Deron Holmes averaged more boards, assists, and more blocks. Obi shot it a little bit better, but Obi Toppin, we loved him in 2020 Player of the
Mm-hmm.
Year, and Deron Holmes is putting up better numbers than what Obi did, and he's got Dayton back in that March Madness mix. What do you think about Dayton and Deron Holmes?
It seems like Dayton, that when it comes to the Atlantic 10, I feel like they own that division. It seems like Dayton's that team that has made the dance more times than any other Atlantic 10 team. I wish we knew that stat, but
But
especially with the Obi Toppin situation where they were going to be a number 1 seed, that's the reason I'm thinking it. But I feel like I hear about Dayton a lot in the tourney. It,
I'll throw some other A10 March Madness participants here over the last couple of years. Of course, the Ramblers of Loyola Chicago. I think they
ah,
they just went in there though. I think they recently went in there.
mm-hmm,
Of course, you got the Rams of VCU, the Bonnies of St. Bonaventure.
mm-hmm.
The Richmond Spiders
Oh yeah, the
are
Spiders. Yeah,
are
Spiders
11,
usually.
11-2 right now at the top with Loyola Chicago, a half game ahead of Dayton.
Ooh.
So there's a little bit of a race there in the A10, but Deron Holmes having a better statistical year than Obi Toppin in 2020, that really stood out to me because Obi won Player of the Year that year.
Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi with Chewbacca in the background.
Oh,
You like that? You like my Chewbacca, Cobrizi?
I did. That was nice. That was nice. That was on point.
Thanks. Thanks. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next player candidate up for Player of the Year. Dude, we're gonna go over here to Tennessee, baby. Here in
Oh,
Tennessee.
first accent of the night.
Been working out a lot of them for you tonight. Dalton Kennett, senior guard for the University of Tennessee, sitting at 6'6", 204 pounds. Now, this guy right now is averaging 20 points per game. That's 27th in the nation. He's averaging 4.9 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game. He shoots 47.6% from the field, shooting 40% beyond the arc.
Oh baby.
40%.
Oh baby.
And at the free throw line, he's shooting 75.5, still very good. Boy, oh boy, Cobrizi, is it refreshing to see that Tennessee went out and got a scorer for their team. Am I right?
Definitely.
Oh,
It seems like he's what Rick Barnes has been missing. The transfer from Northern Colorado. What they the I thought they were the Golden Bears, but they're just the Bears, the Northern Colorado Bears. So he comes from a mid-major school, goes to Tennessee in the SEC, a top 2 conference in the
yep.
nation, and he's putting up 20 a game.
Oof.
I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with what Don't Connect's doing. We're gonna talk about Tennessee a little bit later, but yeah, Don't Connect right now. I'm curious where he is amongst. Yeah, he's right behind Mark Sears for SEC leader in points per game. So
Oh, definitely.
he's he's
Definitely.
putting he's putting it up there.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, speaking of Tennessee, we'll talk about Tennessee just for a little bit. Tennessee for years now has been known as a defensive team. And, they still are, but now they have an elite score to add to that elite defense. Surprisingly enough, though, Tennessee is not in the top 50 as far as points allowed per game go. Can you believe that, Cobrizi? I feel like Tennessee has still got that lockdown defense, but they're not even in the top 50 as points per game. But they are fourth in defense as far as field goal percentage. They're only giving up 38.4% to teams. That is a low number if you're facing Tennessee. Oh my goodness. Tennessee loves to create offense from their defense, and finally, they have someone who can finish the damn basketball after a tough defensive stop. Dalton Kennett is the game changer on the team that was begging. They were on their knees for someone to step up when the score is tighter than Shaquille O'Neal in skinny jeans.
Oh,
Yeah, think about that. Think about that. Dalton might very well be the guy that can
Whoa.
squeeze Tennessee into the Final Four.
Mhm.
I won't be sleeping on them come March. And if you are, including you, Cole Breezy, I mean, then you haven't been looking at Dalton Connect.
He's a baller. He can definitely take Rick Barnes to a Final Four. My next guy is going to be Creighton forward Baylor Shireman. A lot of people might not know this guy. 6'7", 205-pound fifth-year senior from Aurora, Nebraska. He spent his first 3 seasons with the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State.
Oh, the Jackrabbits.
His junior year in 21-22, they were 30-5 and 18-0 in the conference. They were a popular 13 seed upset pick, but the Friars of Providence, they got him. I was probably one to take him.
I think I took him.
But now he goes to Creighton. This is his second year with the Blue Jays this season. Right now they're 20-7, 11-5 in the Big East after that huge win over UConn last night. Huge win for Creighton.
Yes.
Baylor Shireman, he's averaging 18.4 points per game. That is third in the Big East. 8.7 rebounds. That is second in the Big East. 4.1 assists. Let's not sleep on that. 4.1 assists from a 6'7" forward.
Pretty good.
He's shooting 46% from the floor, 85% from the line, 37% from deep. He has scored in double figures in all but 1 out of 27 games. He scored 9 points against Providence, the one that he didn't. Couple big games from Baylor Shireman this season. He had 26 points, 11 boards, and 3 assists against Butler. 27-12 at Providence. And he had a freaking triple-double against Georgetown. 15, 11, and 11 against Georgetown. I think this guy should play in the NBA. I wasn't high on Creighton coming into the season. You know, they were preseason top 10. That was way too high. And then, you know, it's still too high. But you know, Arthur Kaluma leaves. Nemhard, the point guard, goes to Gonzaga.
Yep.
A lot of talent was lost, and a big reason that Creighton is ranked and fighting for a nice seed in March Madness is because of Baylor Shireman and his improvement. This guy's averaging over 18 points, over 8.5 boards, and over 4 assists. Find me those numbers out there because not many people are doing that, if any. Baylor Shireman having a hell of a year.
Nice call on that. Yeah. I also was sleeping on Creighton because of the people that they lost, but they just beat UConn, everybody, and they beat UConn big time. 19 points last night by 19 points.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Creighton. This guy's the real deal. That's all I got to say. All right. Moving on to my final guy of today for the Wooden Award Watch nominee. I got Antonio Reeves, baby. Senior guard from the University of Kentucky, sitting 6'6", 195 pounds. Now, he's averaging 19.5 points per game. That's 39th in the league. He's averaging 4.3 rebounds per game, only 1.6 assists per game, but he is shooting at 49.3% from the field. And get this, Cole Breezy, this guy's shooting 43.9% from three-pointer. That is 7th in the league, 7th. At the free throw line, he is also shooting 86.5%. All right. Let's get detailed on the best player on the Kentucky Wildcats, Cole Breezy. Now, Kentucky this season is sitting at 18-7. A solid start, but with 5 starters averaging at least 11 points per game, and a team that appears to be at least 7 players deep that average at least 18 minutes per game, you would think the Wildcats would be on top of the conference. They are currently sitting in 5th. Now, that just goes to show you that the SEC is stacked this season, right? With 8 teams that are looking to make the dance. But damn, Coach Calipari, maybe stop focusing on recruiting players that will leave after one season and start building a team that can roll with each other for years to come. In fact, Calipari's words to his freshmen are always, I don't promise you'll graduate, but I don't promise you'll graduate, but I do promise you'll be in the NBA. Now,
is that a direct quote?
Quote unquote, Calipari. I can understand that a kid coming out of high school that, you know, you would think this to be the coolest and most exciting thing you have ever heard, right? Oh, I'm gonna be in the NBA. Oh, cool. But cool words aren't as useful as wise words, huh? Right, Cole Breezy? How about how about you build these kids to become men? So when they make it to the NBA, they'll be something more than just a basketball player. Huh? Now I do have respect for Calipari. He's a champion, Anthony Davis and all that, right? But I think he has more to learn as a coach. But let's get back to Antonio Reeves. I know this isn't about Coach Calipari. Come on, come on. Sorry, I had to let it out. Uh, Now, Kentucky has 3 starting freshmen, but those freshmen are led by Reeves as their senior captain. Reeves is an elite scorer and obviously shows his confidence shooting the ball. He's the guy on the team that will take the last shot if the game is on the line, and no one on that team would say otherwise. I do believe this guy needs to learn how to pass the ball more. That's one thing that with 1.6 assists per game, I think that's something that you can definitely try to work on. But when you shoot damn near 50% from the field and 44% from downtown, yeah, I mean, I guess it would be hard for me to give up the rock as well. Yeah. I mean, he's got a hot hand. Now, Kentucky has the talent. They have the depth. They have the elite scorer in Reeves. But in order for me to think that this isn't a team that will bust our brackets in the first round, Cole Breezy, I suggest they prove me wrong and win the damn SEC tournament.
That's asking a lot. The SEC's very good. About a month ago, I said Kentucky was a dark horse Final Four contender. And I'm not really getting off of that with the defense now improving. But Antonio Reeves, another guy who transferred from a mid-major, Illinois State, goes into the SEC, averaging 19.5 a game. Antonio Reeves is having a hell of a year. He's a big-time scorer. He gets them up. Last guy we want to talk about for the Wooden Award player profiles this week is Duke big man Kyle Filipowski.
Oh, Philly.
Came back to college, came back to Duke this season, putting his NBA dreams on hold. He's 7 foot, 250 pounds. He's a sophomore from Westtown, New York. The Blue Devils, they're 20-5 right now, 11-3 in the ACC. Filipowski's averaging 17 points. That's 8th in the ACC. 8.3 boards. That's 6th in the ACC. 2.7 assists. Freaking doubled your boy Antonio Reeves. 50. He's shooting 50% from the floor. Kyle Filipowski, 35% from 3. 7-footer shooting 35% from 3.
That's good.
But here's one that gonna have to look into. His free throw percentage from freshman year to this year, freshman to sophomore year, 77% last year, 65 this year.
Oh,
down 12%. What's
the heck happened there, Filipowski?
What's going on?
Yeesh.
Couple big games for the big dog from Duke this season against Hofstra. He had 28 points, 12 boards, 8 assists, flirting with the triple-double there. And against Georgia Tech, he had a 30-piece, 13 boards, 4 assists. But Max, he's averaging 17 points, 2.5 assists, 8.5 boards. He's going to need to do more if Duke wants to go to the Elite Eight, Final Four, if they want to take down North Carolina in the ACC, who I believe they're a half game behind right now. We need more. We need 20 a game. We need 20 and 10. We need 20 and 10. I'm saying we like I'm a Duke fan, but if I'm a Duke fan, you need 20 and 10 from Kyle Filipowski, okay? 17 and 8, that ain't going to get it done. But still, hell of a season, top 20 player. What do you think about Filipowski this season for Duke?
Oh, you nailed the head right on the hammer, Cole Breezy. This guy, I'm surprised he's not averaging at least 10 points per game. 10 rebounds per game. That's what I meant. 7 feet tall, 250 pounds? I mean, 8.5 rebounds ain't bad. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. He probably leads the team, but come on. You're 7 feet tall. Go get the damn ball. Go get the damn rebounds. Go get some offensive rebounds while you're at it. Okay? Jeesh. Duke's a sleeper team. Duke's pretty good. Okay, Duke's solid, but man, I think UNC is they got something. They got something this year with Armando Bacot, RJ Davis, baby. We'll talk about those guys next week, but yeah, I can't wait actually to watch the ACC. I got it right. Sorry. There's the AAC as well, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Easy to mix up.
Yeah,
Easy
geez.
to mix up.
ACC tournament coming up in a few weeks. Can't wait for that one as well. I hope it is those two teams in that championship game. But you're right, Cobrizi. He is going to have to step up if they want to make a run.
Yeah. Moving into our last topic this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got to do our college basketball game picks. We got 3 juicy ones to break down here, Max. We had 4 last week. We both went 3 for 4. We lost that Kentucky big win at Auburn. We both had the Tigers at home. Of course we did.
Yep.
That was the one we missed, but you got me by 2 right now in the season. You got me by 2. You're 33-10. I'm 31-12. So, whoa.
Oh, wow.
What's going on back there?
Big celebration happening.
Congratulations.
Big celebration. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, weren't expecting that.
Everyone, for those of you that are just listening, some fireworks popped up behind me. I don't know what that happened. Should I be worried?
Nice little treat. Nice little treat.
Jeez, my heart rate's up now.
Careful. Get some water in you. Get some water in you. Because we got 3 juicy ones to break down here. First game, Saturday, 10 o'clock Mountain Time on CBS. The number 2 Houston Cougars go to Baylor, ranked number 11. Houston right now, they're 23-3, 10-3 in the Big 12. Baylor is 19-7, 8-5 in the Big 12. Let's look at Houston first. They've won 4 straight and 9 of 10 after their big win over Iowa State on Monday, 73-65. That was a top 6 matchup. They handled the Cyclones by 8 at home. They got 3 guys, the Cougars of Houston, averaging double figures, led by L.J. Cryer, 15 a game. But I want to call out Jamal Shed because I think he's the more important player. I think he's the better player. His numbers are better. He doesn't score as much as L.J. Cryer. Jamal Shed, he's averaging 13.3 points per game, 3.9 boards, 5.8 assists, and 2.3 steals.
Oh, 2.3, yeah.
He's the heartbeat of this team, the point guard, the leader. Jamal Shed is that dude. Houston, their defense, they're number 1 according to Ken Pom, defensive efficiency.
So good.
They lead the nation, allowing 55.3 points per game and only allowing 37.4% shooting. Both of those numbers lead the nation.
Whoa.
Let's look at Baylor here. Yeah, number 1. Let's look at Baylor. They've won 5 of 6 with the only loss at Kansas until they dropped one last night at BYU, 78-71. Tough to get a road win in the Big 12.
Yeah.
BYU's ranked. Baylor, they got 6 guys averaging double figures, led by freshman Jacoby Walter at 14.4.
You said 6 guys are averaging at least 10 points.
They got 6 guys, I believe, between 10.3 and 14.4. They're all right there. Right there.
Okay.
The offense is great. According to Ken Pom, it's 4th. But the defense, it needs to improve. Ken Pom, 85th ranked defense. 85th for Baylor. What seed would you give the Baylor Bears right now, and can they pull off this upset against Houston at home?
I think the Baylor Bears can be a 4 seed, and a good 4 seed. That's a team that, ooh, man, if they make a run here in that Big 12 tourney, we're looking at this team could be a Final Four team. They can be. They can.
Preseason for me.
Nice call out. Yeah. How about you, Cobrizi? What do you got? What seed are you thinking?
At 8-5 in the Big 12, 19-7 overall. I'll give them a 3 right now.
Nice.
If they can make a run in the Big 12 tournament, they win the Big 12 tournament, at least a 2. So Baylor and Scott Drew, I like the Bears. Like I said, preseason Final Four team for me. I like them. A lot of talent.
Mm.
Do you think they can upset Houston at home?
I'm going to go yes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the upset at home because it's hard to win on the road, especially in a division or a conference like the Big 12. Okay. Houston is playing like a championship caliber team. Oh my goodness. Houston's really good. But if you're going to lose a game this year, it might as well be on the road against Baylor right now. Not in the tournament, not in March Madness. But might as well do it now, and I think it's going to happen because Baylor, they're trying to show their fans, they're trying to show us that are watching and trying to figure out the seeding, right? I think Baylor's got them at home. They're more talented than we think.
Houston, I'm not gonna say anybody's got a 1 seed locked up right now, but Houston is damn near. I think Houston could lose, 1 or 2 more games and still get a 1 seed. So Houston has had a hell of a season. Max, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, Paul.
Ah,
Yeah,
I thought we
I,
had it.
I thought we were gonna be fucking opposite too. But Baylor at home, I like them in that new arena. Houston going on the road, no one's gonna be shocked if Houston wins this game. No one's gonna be shocked. I like Jamal Shed. I like LJ Cryer. We speculated a while ago why LJ Cryer might have transferred. Jamal Shed and LJ Cryer have been balling together since 3rd grade, reportedly.
It's awesome.
So I think that's what led to LJ Cryer transferring to play with Jamal Shed. So this is LJ Cryer's return to Baylor. Going to be a tough one for him. I'm with you with the Baylor Bears at home. 10 o'clock Mountain Time, CBS. This is a good game. This is a Houston Baylor. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah.
Next game we want to talk about in the SEC on Saturday, 2 o'clock Mountain Time, also on CBS. We got the 13th ranked Crimson Tide of Alabama going kind of towards you right there to play the Kentucky Wildcats, ranked 17. Alabama, they're 19-7 overall, 11-2 in the SEC. Kentucky's 18-7 overall, 8-4 in the SEC. Bama, they've won 7 of 8 after this big OT win over Florida tonight. They've scored at least 98 points in 4 of their last 5 games.
Wow.
This season alone, they've scored 109 twice and 111 in a game. Holy shit. They lead the nation with Arizona at 90.7 points per game. Arizona's scoring 90.7 also. Crimson Tide, they have 4 guys averaging double figures, led by senior Mark Sears at 20.6 a game. Let's go look at the Wildcats of Kentucky because they're playing LSU right now. Okay, let me get a live update right now. Oh, boys. Kentucky's down 1 with 11 minutes remaining. Let's keep our eyes on that Kentucky LSU game. But let's look at the Wildcats. They won 3 of 4 after finally playing some defense, holding Ole Miss to 63 and Auburn to 59. 59 points.
All right. Auburn. All right. They're working on defense and practice. Calipari's listening.
Got 5 guys. Kentucky, does average in double figures, led by your boy, senior Antonio Reeves at 19.5 a game. But get this one. I don't think we can find a team with this. The second and third leading scorers on this team, Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepard, they both come off the bench. Both come off the bench. The second and third leading scorers for Kentucky both come off the bench. I want you to find me a team out there that can say that because I doubt you can find one. That's pretty rare.
That is rare. I bet those guys play more minutes than the guys that start. That coming for them.
They're all pretty close. Let's get a little look at it here. Rob Dillingham. Yeah. It's all pretty close. It's all pretty close. Got like you said, 6 guys over 17?
I think I said 7 that are over 18 minutes per game, if I'm not mistaken.
9 over 17.
9 over 17, yeah, okay. They're pretty deep.
Yeah, Kentucky's got a lot of talent. Like we got NBA players coming off the bench for Kentucky. Alabama at Kentucky, Saturday, 2 o'clock Mountain Time. Alabama riding high off this overtime win. Kentucky struggling with LSU right now. Where are you going in this SEC matchup, Max?
Oh, man. Didn't you toss out a stat last week that Kentucky has lost 3 games in a row at home?
First time ever in Ruff Arena, but they ended that by beating Ole Miss.
Okay. Oh, man. This is a tough pick. This one's tough because Alabama is red hot. Great win against Florida in overtime tonight. They are scoring like I didn't know. I am so, again, we said this before, I am so shocked that Alabama has the scoring ability that they have, especially after losing the
Brennan Miller,
yeah.
Jaden Bradley, Charles Bediako, Noah Clowney. There's 4 guys right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I am going to go with the Wildcats at home. I'm going with the Wildcats at home. I just had a nice little segment on Antonio Reeves. I'm hyping him up a little bit. It looks like they're playing defense for these past few games. They're going to have to
Yeah.
play it again against a team that's, well, leading the league in points. So
Mhm.
I'm going with the Wildcats at home.
Alabama has scored, like I said, 98 points in 4 of their last 5. They are red freaking hot. According to Ken Palm, they have the #1 offense in the nation. Kentucky, the defense is improving. I think Alabama might have blew their load tonight. I think the Crimson Tide might have blew their load. Kentucky gets them at home. I thought for sure we wouldn't be same on both of these games, Max. I'm shocked. I think Kentucky, maybe they're turning a leaf here. Like I said about a month ago, I said they're a dark horse Final Four contender because of the amount of talent that they have. Maybe your boy Calipari is getting them going with the X's and O's. Probably not, but
Probably not.
maybe he is. He's getting the defense a
On,
little bit better.
on the board, he is writing NBA. That's it. That's it.
And
Now
and,
go
and a
show
pick
them you were an NBA player.
and a pick and roll for a dunk. We're both on the Wildcats of Kentucky to get a good one here against Alabama. SEC, damn good.
We slept on them last week. Okay, I'm not sleeping on them again.
Staying in the SEC for our last college basketball game pick. Let's flip the calendar to next week. Next Wednesday, February 28th, we got a big one at 5 o'clock Mountain Time on ESPN2. The Auburn Tigers, they go to Knoxville to take on the Volunteers of Tennessee.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a great one, Max. Auburn, they've actually lost 2 of their last 3 games. Let's not sleep on that. They beat Bama by 19, then they lose at Florida. Then they beat South Carolina by 40, then they lose at home to Kentucky. Auburn,
Did you say 40 or was that a joke?
101 to 61.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Woo! Go change your panties, boys and girls. Go change your panties. My goodness.
They blew their load in their panties because then they lost at home to Kentucky the next game. So
Yeah,
Auburn's kind of back and forth there. That
Yeah.
was their first home loss this season. They're now 43-3 at home over the last 3 seasons. Auburn, that's a hell of a home record.
Mhm.
They're at Georgia Saturday. I don't think that's a trap game. Georgia sucks. I don't think it's a trap game. Auburn, they only have 2 guys averaging double figures, but they have 10 guys averaging at least 14 minutes per game. 10 guys over 14 minutes per game.
It's pretty deep.
Bruce Pearl keeps them going. In and out. Of course, we know about the big man, Janai Broom, averaging 16 points, 8.5 boards. Let's look at Tennessee. They host Texas A&M on Saturday. I would say that'd be a tough one, but Texas A&M, fuck them. Fuck the Aggies. They just lost to Arkansas last night for the second time this year. Texas A&M, they're off the bubble. Fuck them. Tennessee's going to get that one. Volunteers, they got 3 guys averaging double figures led by Dalton Connect, 20 a game.
Mhm.
We talked about it earlier, but Tennessee's averaging 80 per game this year. Tell me the last time Tennessee averaged 80 points per game. They had the 19th ranked offense according to Ken Palm. Like they've always been great defense, and they are again this year. They're 5th defensively according to Ken Palm. Offense coming around. Dalton Connect, Rick Barnes. They go to the Final Four this year. Real quick, Tennessee's remaining games. They got this one against 14th ranked Auburn. Then they go to number 13 Alabama. Then they go to number 20 South Carolina. Then they host number 17 Kentucky.
Oh
That's
my
a hell of
goodness.
That's a hell of a 4-game stretch there for Tennessee.
If they take 4 out of 5, we're looking at a Final Four team. If they take 4 out of 5 on those guys right there,
You putting them in right there.
I might very well just get a blank bracket. Not even looking at matchups. I just put Tennessee Final Four. Not even looking at matchups.
Auburn at Tennessee next Wednesday on the 28th, 5 o'clock Mountain Time, ESPN2. Auburn getting a bounce back here, or are you worried about the Tigers?
I'm going to stay worried about the Tigers because I'm going my Tennessee Volunteers. Okay, it's my Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee, so I'm in.
Get a
Tennessee.
shirt already. Get a shirt.
I don't look good in orange. Okay, I don't look good in orange.
Burnt orange? Burnt? Is it burnt or is that Texas?
It's like
Texas
a bright
burnt?
orange.
Yeah.
What the hell is burnt orange? Yeah, okay, I understand.
Burnt orange.
It's like a
Texas.
brownish. It's like brownish orange. A little bit of poop in there. A little bit of poop. Tennessee's damn good. Tennessee's damn good. It's going to be a good defensive game, but Tennessee can score better. With Go Volunteers. Let's go.
We're 3 for 3, Max. I'm on Tennessee at
Look
home
at us.
with you.
Look at
Damn it,
us.
I can't believe it. I'm looking at all these games, and I don't put BYU at Kansas in because we're both going to take Kansas, and there was another obvious one that I didn't put in. So I put 3 ones in that we might have differed on, but damn it, we still didn't.
Nah.
Auburn. Here's a big one for you, Auburn. Jalen Williams, second leading scorer and rebounder, 13 points, 4.7 boards per game. 6'8", 245-pound senior, gonna miss multiple weeks with a meniscus injury.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not good.
That's a big one right there. Your
That's
second
not
leading
good.
scorer and rebounder, senior, 6'8", 245, big body. That's gonna be a big loss for Auburn. Like I said, though, 14 guys, 10 guys averaging over 14 minutes per game. Tigers are deep, but they're quietly 4-4 in their last 8 games. Auburn is 4-4 in their last 8 games. Very quietly. Ranked 13th, 4-4 in their last 8. That's very. There's people are sweeping that under the rug.
Yeah.
They're gonna add up another loss to that one. I got Tennessee at home with you, Maxwell. That's gonna do us here.
Wow.
For this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast.
Okay.
College basketball episode as it's going to be from here out through on March, because it's my favorite time of the year coming up here, Max. Are you? How excited are you?
My favorite time of the year as well, Cole Breezy. Okay, everybody, get your bibs out. Okay, don't drool on your shirts. Wear a white shirt if you don't have a bib, because at least when you drool, it's not going to show up on the shirt unless you're eating hot wings or hot Cheetos or whatever. You don't want to wipe that on your shirt either. I don't eat Cheetos. Anymore. I don't do Cheetos. I don't do that shit anymore. No, not good. I used to teach kids they eat a lot of Takis. They had stains on their fingers. They had Takis. You ever heard Takis?
That's not, no.
I'm not a big fan of them, but they had stains on their fingers. Stains on their fingers. They always had to wear a white shirt with a tie at the school. Always had that stuff all over their shirts. And then when the kids would try to go up to me, because I shake hands, that's what I like to do. I like to shake hands. I'm like, get your tacky fingers out of here. I don't
Hope
know
you
what
had some sanitizer with you. Hope you had some sanitizer shaking all them hands.
It's spicy too. It's spicy. So when I have to go pee, grab my pee, get a little taki dust on that, it burns.
Whoa.
It burns. I have to go to the doctor afterwards. And
Usher's burden.
Where did we go? Where did we just go?
I asked you if you were excited about March Madness coming up. You're talking about shit on kids' fingers. That makes your pee-pees burn.
March Madness, baby. Don't sleep on it, everyone. Don't sleep on it. It's coming up. Yes.